G'day. So I haven't told anyone I'm coming on tonight. I just decided to plug it in. Holy shit. Man, it's hot. It says it's supposed to 23 to 24 or something like that degrees in Melbourne, but it feels like 30 in here. Bloody hell. Let's have a bit of a look. I gotta get the invites up, don't I? So let me just do that. Copy. Stick that in the comments. If anyone ends up coming to have a look, you can come and join. Oh god, my god! I should go and send one off to Mr. R. Yo. Hey, I'm hoping everyone is enjoying the Feeding of the Ducks music. Yeah, Crypto Rose, did you want to join? I've got a friend visiting for a few days, and I just don't think you'd appreciate me sitting on stream. Rats. I wanted to talk to someone who's sane. I tried to call Piper twice tonight. He doesn't want to pick up his phone for some reason. I don't know if that means he's overseas or something. Maybe he's down back down in Antarctica again. I don't know. Gotta find people who are up at this time. My God. I'm sure there are. Who said I was saying? Of course you're in. Of course. Sorry. I was about to say you're insane. My goodness. But no. As far as I'm concerned, you're probably sane. I'm assuming. I'll give you a clean bill. There you go. That'll cost you $180 plus government taxes. There you go. You have been cleared of your insanity. You may progress back to whatever you were planning on doing. Perhaps M2M. It's 10 a.m. here. Okay. Yeah, why not? You could always bring him up. I don't know where he is, but yeah. Who would come on? I kind of don't. 108. That's like £5. You American pound. Come on, you know that both the British pound and the Aussie dollar are both going to shit against Bitcoin. So. It's all much of a muchness, really, isn't it? God damn, I gotta charge my phone. It's on 10%. Mate, you're pretty much on the stream talking to me in your text anyway. Is your friend a sane person? Because maybe you could get two sane people on. Oh man, I wanted to not do anything on this bloody channel for a while because don't know, felt like I was getting nowhere. I was doing a couple of videos here and there. I was laughing at them and stuff, and I mean that's what counts when you do a video. You want to have a bit of a laugh at it, but then kind of goes nowhere after a while. It's like, well, there you go. Everyone forgets something that's 2 days old. If it's not brand new, it's not worth it. So it's a weird system. It's ruthless in a lot of ways. It's ruthless. it doesn't hit in the first 2 days, it's dead. Vicious like that. Maybe I should get some Bitcoiners up here. I sent some messages to somebody Bitcoiners and they don't reply for like weeks. I don't get it. My friend is sane, but he's a little too sane. He hates it when I talk about flat earth. Well, there's no flat earthers here. Don't know. See, half of these people will probably fall asleep. This is the thing. They'll fall asleep. See, I think these streams that I do are at very awkward times because only certain people are really awake. Like people in England are obviously just waking up and they got to go to work. Who the hell is that? It's a picture of a dog. Ah, yes. Okay, I didn't realize he was hiding his name. Okay, well, he's changed it. Why has he changed his name like that? Very interesting. Actually, I think that name is a fake name. Now that I look at it, there's corn in it. Kind of feel like I should be inviting some Bitcoiners now that I think about it. Come on. Are you up, dude? I'm sorry, Crypto Rose, if this is not very entertaining, but here I am. I should always go out there and tell people to come in 6 hours earlier. Don't know. I don't think I really want to talk to flat earthers right now, to be honest. I think I only want to talk to globe earthers. People who have brains. Oh, sending loads of "Are you up?" messages. Oh, yeah, you're right. They probably might think I'm like, dude, wanna, yeah. Oh God. Can the temperature bloody drop around here? It's so hot. This is ridiculous. Are you just sneaking around, are you? Who the hell is that? Oh, yeah. Matt. Hey, Crypto, you got competition now. There's a second person watching me do absolutely fuck all right now. It's starting to climb. I don't know who's watching, but if you are watching, there is a link in there. You can come and chat because, yeah, you can talk to some sane people around here. Tell you what I might do is I will copy the link and I'm gonna go and stick it. I'm gonna stick it straight into the Bitcoin bloody thing. John Davies. Hi, dude. How you going? How's it going, mate? Gotta do it. Oh, shush. My Boomer. Boomer. He's the guy from Discord. G'day. Yeah, I didn't realize you must have subscribed. So there you go. If you want to jump on, that's fine. You can come and have a chat. It is in the at the top of the stream there. Let me stick this in the. I've aptly named this one just Crikey today, so anyone can come and talk. man. I've literally just put it into the Aussie Bush Bash for Bitcoiners thing. Let's see if anyone wants to come and chat. God. Oh, God. Let's see what they say. That's one thing I actually do want to do. I want to do this on my non-GE account. That way I can, just talk about Bitcoin instead. They talk about a whole different kettle of fish in comparison to this. So, not coming up, Boomer. I'm not seeing any acceptance on the StreamYard links here. Mate, people should be coming up and complaining about their life now. They're telling, I got divorced from my wife and my kids hate me and whatever. Say whatever you want. Just vent. Tell me about your problems. You can lay down on my couch. It is hot and sweaty right now. You might not like it on the couch because it's too hot. Give me 15. I gotta talk for 15 minutes. Boomer is gonna cook for 15 minutes, and he's got a full bullshit meter. I can see that now. Very good. There you go. Hey, you'd think at 9 o'clock anyone will be up right now in Australia. Why are they hitting the pillow so early? I think you should go hard on the global string shortage. What is the string shortage? Sorry, what is the string shortage? Can you fill me in on this? Is this guitar strings? Is this the sort of strings that you make shirts out of? What is the string shortage, please? I've not heard of this. G'day, bakes cakes. Mate, look at how many spanners we got. So both Crypto Roast and my mum bakes cakes has spanners. So if people can come up and prove that they're human and they're normal, I may consider them giving a spanner if they're not a troll. But yeah. Hey Cakes, did you want to jump up or not? Perhaps if he's referring to Goodies string episode. I don't know. The Goodies string episode. Mate, it's been a long time since I watched the Goodies. It's a play by Big Parcel Tape to keep it quiet. What the fuck? Is that some sort of like big pharma sort of a joke, is it? Oh God. Parcel tape, okay. He's up. There you go. Oh my goodness. Okay, Chief, can you unplug your headphone and stick it back in again? Have you tried turning it off and on again? Low stakes conspiracies. What is this? Is this a Reddit thing? Low stakes conspiracies. The Predator. I think you are joking. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, let's test out your speaker again. Go. Test it again.
Anything?
Yeah. It's coming through a little bit clearer. Yep.
All right, there you go.
I might have to turn my soothing feeding the ducks music off now because of the volume level.
That's becoming annoying.
Yes.
Quack.
Well, it doesn't really make a quack sound, unfortunately, but it just makes
a lot of flutes have been making
sound.
quack sounds, haven't they?
What's that? Sorry.
A lot of flat earthers have been making quack quack sounds.
I'm assuming so. Look, I haven't really interacted with a great deal recently, because it is.
Oh, and he's gone. Gaming opens the chat with guys again. Hey John, how you doing? So yes, it's been we had the what do you call it? The nominee for the Top Left Award recently from FTFE and MC Doom. We had the video from the guy who does body language expert. Oh, that was hilarious. Oh gosh, but these guys have no idea. Is he coming back in? There he go. He's left me on my own. Oh my gosh. I think if he's got his going to New York or going to the States very soon too. Crikey's been Crikey Blinder. If you haven't subscribed to him, he's been putting out lots of videos. He's quite funny. He's back.
Hello.
There he is. What happened? You dropped out.
Oh, this fucking mic. Can you hear me nicely?
I can, yes.
Yeah, I imagine not many people want to hear me nicely, but yeah, it was a damn microphone again. As soon as I started talking, all of a sudden, pop.
Yeah,
I didn't even move. I didn't even move, and it just popped.
Oh my gosh, ghosts!
Oh, I'm gonna have to go and buy a new mic. This is just not good enough.
No.
No. Yeah. So how have you been? I've been trying my best to not really shout at people on X for flirters on X. I might have spoken to maybe one or two concavers, but that's about it.
No, I don't go X. I don't do X.
Mm-hmm. No, well, have you been adhering to flirt-free Friday? Flirt-free February?
Not sure what that means.
Oh, okay. Well, there was something going on saying, don't talk to flirts over February.
I don't know about that one. I mean, I've been watching, what's being the Lord Jamal debacle.
Yeah. Which one was that on again?
Quite a few people have been saying he's been a bit out of sorts and posting how stupid he really is, and he didn't. Yeah, so he's been being roasted quite badly by the African American community.
The African American community? Okay.
Yeah. Because he's apparently quite a popular rapper. I've never heard of him before, but there you go.
Oh yeah, that's right. Lord Jamal was the one who had a chat with Professor Dave, and in a 20-minute skit, he basically, he just freaked out, I guess, and started ranting without actually giving any decent evidence, and got utterly destroyed, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's been coping ever since. And people.
So what has some of the people who listen to his music been complaining about him or not?
Yeah, apparently quite a few, because he ostracized himself with the people he was invited on a particular show.
Oh, really? So the three people sitting on the couch didn't want him back.
No, because he said they were apparently he's his friends, and now they're not his friends anymore because they threw him under the bus with this guy called Professor Dave.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. It's just, and then Professor Dave's been talking to quite a few of the more intelligent of the African American community who have some degree of knowledge and can see what this guy's been trying to do, and they just want to stop the nonsense. So it's been quite funny.
Yeah, no. I do remember him getting one interview with some more conservative from the black community, like a guy and one girl, and they were very, very supportive of what he was talking about. Yeah.
Possibly, I'm not sure, because he was on with Dearth, Dirk and what's his name, Hibbert, the guy who does the videos, the flat Earth videos.
Okay.
And yeah, his support group, in other words.
Yep.
Yeah. These science, they're just science guys. I mean, the whole level video series, if you've seen them, I mean, they're completely. We've got not a shred of evidence in them at all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they speak a lot of shit. There's no doubt about it. I don't know. Look, tonight I was talking with someone and I decided, nah, fuck it. I can't talk to that guy anymore. So I decided I would just see if I can come here and talk to some sane people instead. Because some of the things that this person was saying was you couldn't even Google the shit that he was saying. It was so ridiculous.
You can give us examples.
I was telling him to Google things and to pull them up in front of me.
Right.
And he was literally pulling them up in front of me and then not seeing what the hell they said. So I don't know.
All right. So you showed him evidence, as in you went to Google and typed in whatever.
No, I asked him to Google it for me, so that he would he would find it himself.
Right. Yeah. And he didn't notice it, or did he cherry pick?
He looked at it, and he started rattling off, and I was like, okay, give me one thing at a time. I just want to focus on this one thing.
Yeah.
And he resisted. He made a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I said, I still need that. I still need that one small thing to be done, please. Can you please give me that? And you know, and then I got two straight pieces of bullshit, one after the other. I thought, okay, that's enough. That's enough. This is silly.
Well, yeah, that's what they do. They won't answer direct questions. I mean, it's to tie down a flirt to answer a direct question when you ask them. It's like tying down an oily pig. They just kind of squeal away as fast as they can.
Yeah, well, see the way life should be, right, is that if I walk up to a car, right, and I ask, hey, look at that car. How many wheels has it got on that car? Would you be able to give me an easy answer?
3.
Oh, okay. Oh man, now I'm just going batshit crazy. In most cases, cars have four wheels, and maybe they might have a spare wheel that's hidden in the boot or underneath the actual cab. But in most cases, it's actually driving on 4 wheels.
Well, depending on which angle you can see the car from.
Cleanly.
Yeah, no, so depending on which angle you see the car from, you can only probably see about 3 wheels at any moment.
But what if I gave you full permission to be able to walk around the car?
There you go, before. So yes,
thank you.
But that would be a normal response. I mean, you can Google it, and you get how many wheels does a car have? And for 4, of course, right?
Yeah, well, that's it. It's that simple. Do wheels let cars drive in a sort of a rotational manner, or do they make them hover?
That's a really good question. Do
they hover, or do they float, or do they usually like roll on the road?
I'd say they roll, wouldn't they?
I think they do roll. I think they do roll. That should be pretty easy common knowledge. They don't float. It's not Back to the Future 2.
But we're getting close to that. You know, we're getting close.
That's
10
true.
years away, we could be doing that. You know?
That's true. And there are some army vehicles which can the wheels kind of go into the water. The wheels don't necessarily help, but they can float and they can just dangle their feet, their wheels. But no, this is the level of silliness that I'm dealing with right now. It's I don't know. My girlfriend turned to me before and she says, "Why don't you just stop talking to me?" I'm like, "Yeah, but these people, they fucking reply non-stop, don't they? They just keep fucking replying."
And the things they reply with though is, I mean, you read some of the comments and you're going, "Oh, what possesses them to come up with such insanity?"
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, I actually I tuned into a Melodome video today, and
Melodome.
Yeah. It was sort of premiering. I think it was running live, but oh shit. I think it was 1 day delayed, so they recorded it the night before. But it was an interesting conversation actually. It was with a guy called Effed Up World. Effed Up, yeah. But
Sorry,
have you interacted with Effed Up World?
I've heard of him.
Okay. Well, I mean, the conversation was actually not bad. I think you actually would probably watch it and go, "Wow, you guys are kind of getting it." Because at the moment, I don't know if you know Melodome or not, but Melodome's actually he's off the flat Earth train right now,
Oh,
and
good. One.
he's in. Sorry.
It's another one.
Yeah. No, he's off it. He kind of started leaving probably before TFE, I think, to some degree,
All right, that's good.
because what he's been doing recently for the last 6 months or so, he's
Mhm.
been going outside and taking
Measurements.
no, not measurements. He's been taking photos of the sun with a solar filter every single day at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Crypto Rose knows all about it because he kind of introduced me into that space.
Uh-huh.
But he's been taking photos of it at the same time every single day to be able to see the sunspots roll over the top of the sun ball.
Mhm.
And he's fairly convinced that that with the way that it's passing in certain directions, and
Mhm.
as it goes across the front, it goes faster, and I guess as it goes to the side, it kind of slips on an angle.
Mhm.
So he's starting to slip. He's starting to think, okay, if they've now got a 24-hour sun in the south and the north, and
Yeah.
we've got a sun which is rolling with sunspots, he's fairly convinced it is a globe now. He just hasn't yet considered about whether or not it's geocentric or heliocentric yet. And I wouldn't mind having a chat with him about that.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
But
but he
that's
was
good. That's a good point because when let's say a flat earther, we've had let's say once you go flat, you never come back, which is absolutely incorrect because we've had quite a few flat earthers.
We're now we should have a list. We should write down a list of all the people who have gone flat and have come back.
Correct. Well, I know Raichi 00. I know.
Yes, Raichi.
Tiger Dan was one of the first ones, but you don't know where he is at the moment.
No, sounds a bit early for me.
He did a lot of videos on the Antarctic and then became a glober. Then his channel.
Melodome has talked about some other person named maybe Crypto Rose might know who I'm talking about. It was it's not Crikey. It's like more like Crikey or something. I don't know. But no, he's come back. But listening to the Effed Up World guy today, he while he still believes it's flat, what he's been fighting directly like with people like Flatzoid and Sov and all that sort of stuff. And he's been doing response videos to their what he describes as their insanity, because they are basically they're saying things and he's like, as far as I'm concerned, I can see these things and they all look pretty legit. So I believe that I believe TFE did happen. And for these guys to go out there and say it doesn't happen, I consider you guys to be directly lying.
Yeah. Shock horror.
Yeah. But he's been
Ranty. You think about Ranty,
yes. Yes, that's it. Yes, Ranty. Yeah.
And Speak Truth.
Speak Truth. I don't know who that one is.
Speak Truth.
Give me 1 second. I'm just going to go and grab a glass of water and close the door so the baby doesn't cry again. So 1 second.
All right. So if anyone else out there knows of any other flat earther that has gone and come back to the globe, if you could type that in the chat, we'd really appreciate it. Yeah.
My mic still seems to be working.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, like, if anyone's obviously on here and they are a globe, I would consider them. I would recommend them to go and have a bit of a look at Melodome's recent stuff. because it's good to see someone who is now, flipping the card on what they thought, and he's actively still talking with all the other guys
Yeah.
and telling them how he sees something completely different. It's good to
Good.
see. Mm.
Yeah, it's like when you see the video I had with the video I posted on my channel with the Bev doing his level thing, and you can almost see in his mind the cogs start to turn. Just a
Yeah.
little bit. It's like, there must be something wrong here. So yeah, it's amazing to watch them put the pieces together and going, these two pieces fit, but they don't connect to my brain thinking, so they must be wrong. Right.
Yeah, well, this effed up truth guy, he was trying to explain, how one direction is clockwise and the other direction is anti-clockwise, right? And he was describing it 100% right, but there was something missing.
Mhm.
He didn't really know why there was another celestial pole at all. He didn't actually explain that at all. He explained the correct directions in the way you view things,
Yeah.
but he didn't he did not elaborate on why there is a south celestial pole at all. He didn't touch on it.
Is he a
just assumed it was
southern?
existing.
Is he southern or northern hemisphere?
Oh, American. Most of these people are American. Trust me.
Okay, that says a lot.
There's a lot of them out there who are
Okay.
American. So, what's this? Cakes STS. Sorry, STST dumped
Yeah.
FE after he spoke to Conspiracy Cats. I don't know who STS is.
That would be Seek Truth, Speak Truth.
Oh, Seek Truth, Speak Truth. Okay.
That's great. He had a chat with Conspiracy Cats because Conspiracy Cats was talking to him, like Conspiracy Cats does. He's really great what he talks about. He's saying about the moon and how the moon phase, or the phase of the moon in where they are in England, is in one particular direction, but down here it's the opposite side.
That's right.
And he just, how does that work? So just because he just gently prodded to him, look at this, take a look at this, and he said, oh, that makes sense, and he became back at the globe again. So he was following Dubay. I mean, Eric Dubay. Many people do, but there you go.
Yeah, Eric Dubay is the god of deception.
I mean, he's backpedaling so bad about the TFE. Sorry.
I actually have not paid attention to him since that the video where he apparently went out there and said everyone was looking at screens. I don't like to click on any of his shit because I don't want to give him any support whatsoever.
No, but I've seen quite a few people cover his videos. I don't really him myself, but quite a few people have actually done viewed his videos and done write-ups on them, which is quite funny.
What's this? Oh, yes. Okay, so Crypto Roast has written here. He says, I'll link you the video on TG, which changed STS's mind. Might be funny to watch the first few minutes on stream. Now I did run this through Chrome today.
Oh no!
So that basically means that I
it's going to work.
So you're saying this is only a few minutes long?
I hope so.
It says 9 minutes. Mr. Sensible. Is that Mr. Sensible?
No. Oh, could be. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Oh well, Mr.
I think I remember the video he's talking about, but I've done the link for it.
Oh, this is 29 minutes. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can just simply just start watching this on here. It's 29 minutes long.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
I mean, if you can link it in the chat, it would be far easier. But anyway, that 29 minutes. That's probably a bit too long for me to pull up, unless you can pull up something a little bit shorter than that.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I had a bit of a chuckle. I had a bit of a chuckle today. Have you come across Brenda debates?
I've heard of it. Sorry, I was going to say him, but it's actually, is it a him or her? I can never tell the difference.
It's supposedly a him, a her. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
Go
on.
Yeah. Look, I look, I see her jump on Vlad's channel,
Yeah.
a few times here and there, and I got to admit, she does it the same way every single time. She basically, uh, yeah. I was about to see that's what crypto rats. That's what I was about to do. You see, I was about to copy it because you could put it in Telegram. I'm going to put it into the live, but if you could put it in the live, that'd be far easier. How do I copy that? Oh god.
Just
Man,
click on it.
sharing stuff online is tricky, isn't it? I've got to go out there and find my stream on the computer. I got to go and copy it from there. Fucking hell. It's all over the place. Come on, where's my live? So anyway, so yeah, what I was so when I was looking at whenever I look on the Vlad channel,
Mhm.
I find the Brenda always comes on every now and then, and she's always very she's always pretty toxic at the very beginning with Vlad. She's always like, I've got a bone to pick with you every single time. and like I don't know, I mean, it'd be interesting to hear. Why is it not doing that? I'd be interested to have her here maybe once, but I don't really know. I'm assuming that she's probably fast asleep anyway. But she likes to get very toxic with him, saying, "Oh, you said this and you said that," and I was like, "I'm very unhappy with you. I want you to apologize." And it's like, when he's doing a video like I'm doing a video right now, the last thing you want is someone to come on and say, "Oh, yeah, I need you to apologize." It's like, well, this is my show. What are you talking about? It's
Yeah.
kind of weird that way.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard he's been. Sorry, she's been on Max's show a few times, speaking up, and I don't really interact with her at all. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, like I've only interacted with her on X Spaces once, but yeah, me and her didn't necessarily talk. I commented and she commented at the a similar sort of time. Can you see? Oh no, I've got to add the stage. Crypto Roast, does it start at a particular point just so that I'm interested, just so we know?
Give us a timestamp, good terrorist.
Yeah, is there a timestamp of when I should start so that I can get rolling? I'll do a sound check. I'll just press play and you tell me if you can hear the sound.
Okay.
Now, I understand the fascination of one.
Did you hear the sound? Bakes Cakes, did you hear the sound of the music at all?
Yes,
The
I heard.
video? Okay, good. Rose, did you have a particular spot where I want me to start? I think it just said the first few minutes. So is it still showing? Yeah, it's still showing. I'll just start playing.
Wanting to know how the world around us works. And if humans didn't have that characteristic, then the world would definitely be a poorer place. However, when it comes to asking questions about the shape of the Earth, there's that much misinformation out there on the internet that it can be very easy for somebody to fall down a rabbit hole. And I hate to see that happen to anybody. Now, the subject of today's video has already made his mind up that the Earth is flat. And I hope I can change his mind. Now, he knows that I'm going to make this video and he's happy for me to do so as long as I shout out his channel name in the video. So let's let him introduce himself.
Hello and welcome to Seek Truth and Speak
Actually, I
Truth.
do recognize this
Okay,
guy.
so with that out of the
Yes,
way,
I
everything I'm gonna
have
say in
seen
this
that
video
guy
is
talk
directed
before.
specifically
There you go.
at you
I
and
do
your best
remember
interests
him
so
now.
far. And I hope you watch to the end, no matter how annoyed you get with me. I really want the opportunity to show you that the people that you are listening to are at best scientifically illiterate and at worst a little bit dishonest. So let's begin.
I really believe in the last sort of week or two, the ball has been killed. The ball is dead. Flat Earth is just winning. It's just the ball can't win now. There's just too much proof.
Damn, that's
and only
convincing.
theory for the ball.
That's so
So
convincing.
straight off the bat, I think that is a major over-exaggeration. There is no serious institution in the world that takes flat Earth seriously. I have never met a flat earther in person that I've not spoken to on the internet first, and I don't know anybody who has. So maybe when you say that, you mean you feel that the globe is dead to you, which is fair enough. But let's find out why.
Mr. Eric Dubay, the man, he recently done a video about the moon. It was a great video.
No, it was a rubbish video and a scientifically illiterate mess made by the same person who gave this as their explanation of how we get tides on the Earth.
Tides are caused by the gentle and gradual rise and fall of the Earth on the bosom of the mighty deep.
Now, unfortunately, Eric Dubay does have quite a sizable online presence that allows him to peddle his nonsense to quite a lot of people. And unfortunately, you are about to parrot quite a lot of it.
But basically, the moon cannot reflect sunlight the way that it should do, or it's not reflecting light the way it should do. I'm going to use my trusty
move forward
spherical ball here. There's a spot, isn't there? I can't really put. There we go. A spot. A light spot.
A light spot.
So anything that's a concave,
it's convex
shape is going to
convex
have a light spot.
Is it?
It cannot
convex. The ball is
signal
convex.
the energy of the light in
concave
such a
is going
way
in.
that it would then bounce back to Earth and illuminate this whole ball. So, you know, if we looked at the moon and we saw a light spot like this, I would think to myself, oh, okay, yeah, it's the sun's reflection. I mean, that's basically what you're seeing here is the light bulb's reflection. And then obviously the light has traveled around and is reaching parts of this ball, and this side of the ball is dark. Lovely. Yeah, you know,
Genius.
Great. That's science. So why does the moon just illuminate completely, or obviously it's waxing and waning cycles? It's self-illuminating.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
And please explain to me why you think it's not when I've just proved it can't be.
Okay, so first of all, let's do that light spot.
Can I just say first, I actually do have my own videos on why the sunspot does not show up, and I also got a video where I go out there and mimic the moon phase in real time. So that's one thing I might bring up after this one's done. But yeah, I'll see if I can press play, and maybe I could
But
Google.
he's not the only one who said that the moon is self-illuminating. When I first heard that, I'm thinking, are you guys serious?
Yeah. Nah. Who operates a light switch? But anyway,
a specular highlight. So this is caused when light reflects off smooth objects in a manner that we call specular reflection. However, not all objects that are a sphere will have a specular highlight. Just take a look at these rocks. You see, the moon is also a big sphere made out of rock, and surfaces like the rocky, dusty moon exhibit diffuse reflection. Now, let's also add that the scale of the ball, your lamp, and the distance between them is nothing like the sun and the moon. Place your football further away from the lamp and see how intense your specular highlight gets then. So there really is no reason at all that we should see any kind of specular highlight on the moon. It's a very, very common, dishonest, flat earth argument that literally has no substance when compared to the observations we make in the real world. And I'll refer you back to pictures like this, which is a much, much better example than your smooth, shiny football, which is very close to a lamp. So let's take a look at your second claim that the moon somehow gives off its own light. Well, back when I used to teach GCSE astronomy, one of the pieces of coursework we all had to do was take a telescope or a pair of binoculars with some kind of filter on and look at an area of the moon. And over a number of days or weeks, we'd have to sketch that area of the moon and see how the detail we could see changed.
Man, look at those shadows.
Now, one of the things we noticed as the Terminator line moved across the moon was a change in the length of the shadows in the craters we were observing. Now, if your claim is that the moon is giving off its own light, then how can these craters possibly have shadows? You see, this really is something that you can do for yourself. You can get yourself a telescope, you can get yourself a filter where you can look at the moon, and you can look at the craters, and you can look at how the detail changes from one night to the next as that Terminator line moves. And then ask yourself sincerely, when you can see those shadows in the crater, do you still believe that the moon is giving off its own light? Or is there a more appropriate explanation that it's just reflecting it from the sun?
The sun's rays heat and the moon's rays cool. And there's been many experiments proving this, where it's actually warmer in the shade during the evening, especially during full moons and things like that.
No, but let's start with what might be true. The light that we receive from the moon is going to be different than the light we receive from the sun. The sun will emit electromagnetic waves across a whole variety of wavelengths, and these wavelengths are reflected off the moon. And just like reflection anywhere, some of those wavelengths are going to be absorbed and some of those wavelengths are going to be reflected back. In fact, I think the peak intensity of wavelength of sun's light is about 550 nanometers, and the peak intensity of the light reflected from the moon is about 650 nanometers. So they are different. Now, if you look around me in the room behind me, I have one light bulb which is shining on all these objects, which is reflecting the same light, but it's reflecting back different wavelengths, which is why we see different colors. So yeah, the light that we get from the moon is going to be a little bit different than the light we get from the sun, but purely because it's reflected. But that is a million miles away from saying that the moon actually gives out cold light. Now, when you talk about these observations of objects in the shade being warmer than objects in the moonlight, that is because objects lose heat by a process called radiative cooling. Now, objects in the shade experience less radiative cooling than objects that are not in the shade. Even heavy cloud cover can cause this effect. Now, while I genuinely am happy to carry this conversation about moonlight on with you, this video really is about the shape of the Earth. So I'm just going to say this last bit and then we'll move on. Ask yourself, where in your life have you ever seen a light source that cools things down? How does that fit in with any of the experiences you've had from being a child to being an adult? Have you ever seen anything like that? Or are you listening to Eric DeBay and a handful of poor YouTube scientists and taking a huge leap of faith into something that makes no sense whatsoever?
But nobody really knows what the moon is because nobody's ever been there. No probes, nothing. Not anything has been there. So it is all hearsay and speculation, but we can look at facts.
And the facts are that we did land on the moon, and you just have a belief that we didn't. But again, the moon landing is the subject for another video. This is about the shape of the Earth. So let's move on.
And obviously the angles, sometimes you see these photos and the way the sun is, and say if it's a half moon, you know, the sun should be 90 degrees opposite it really for that half moon. Obviously, depending on where you are on the Earth, it will look differently. But the sun's over here somewhere, you know, and the angles are wrong.
Right, so this is where it's going to get a little bit uncomfortable for you because I'm going to challenge your indoctrination from the flat Earth community. So let's have a little look at your moon phase argument.
Now, I've got a feeling that when you're talking about the half moon, you're imagining a setup like this, where the observer here is going to see the sun and the moon at a 90-degree angle. But what we've got to remember is we're dealing with three-dimensional shapes, and it's very difficult sometimes to imagine and get your head around. But when a person is moving from one point on the Earth to another, their physical orientation changes, and that can make them observe the same half moon in the sky at what they might consider to be unpredictable angles. Now, this isn't the problem with the idea of the Earth being a globe. It's an inevitability of the Earth being a globe.
Now, we also have to factor into the conversation that the moon, the Earth, and the sun are not in a straight line. The Earth orbits the sun at an angle, and the moon orbits the Earth at an angle. And sometimes the moon is above the Earth relative to the sun, and sometimes it's below it. And all of these things combine together to produce these angles that you seem to find unpredictable. But let's have a look how ridiculous things actually get if we try and examine observations of the moon on a flat Earth. Right, here we have the flat Earth, and all the people on the flat Earth have the same orientation.
Hey, you don't mind if I just pause for 1 second, because I just realised that we're just sort of just continuously rolling there. Are you still with me, Bumbeck's case?
Yeah, I just want to point out, if you look at that video, that was done around about 5 years ago, right?
Yeah,
and
true.
You know, if you listen to any flat earther, they just repeat the same old talking points that Seek Truth was talking way back then. You know.
It's been 5 years, guys. Catch up.
yeah. So, especially the newer ones that come on board, they'll go through the same process, say the same stupid things which have been debunked over time and time and time again. It's like, you know, oh, I've just become a flat earther and I've just found out that the moon, and they just, you know, they maybe have found one of Eric's videos and said, oh, maybe that's true, or then this is true, and then they go, yeah. So it's good that people like Ranty and STC and Rachie and Jose have come out. I mean, gone back to sanity. In other words, come back to the.
But have they just gone away and then disappeared, or are they actually on our side helping us, or not?
They did with the Crikey and STST. They did do a few videos once they became globers to debunk their own videos. STST, Seek Truth, Speak Truth, re-engaged with his girlfriend because they broke up because of Flat Earth, and now he's got a proper job. And he tried to do some work with the government, doing a series of history videos, but I haven't heard from him really. He's done a few videos recently with the TFE because that's become the #1 talking point. Rachel's done a razor sharp bunch of videos about Fatsoid.
No, she's always going after him all the time, isn't she?
Yeah, she's really good, which is good to see.
Do you, Crypto Rose, do you think that she'd be up right now? She's in England. I mean, I don't think she knows me from a bar or soap, but I mean, if she's in England, it's going to be like 10 a.m. or something like that. So
I wouldn't know how to contact her there.
No, I don't really know how to contact her either. I didn't want the video to roll on too much because I didn't really know if I was just gonna end up waking up 29 minutes later. So
yeah, that's fine.
Yes, I knew. Right. Okay. So Crypto Rose has corrected himself. He said, FTFE. See, I think I've got to go out there and share these things to the screen because apparently I've noticed that when I go back and look at some mild streams, all the comments disappear, and I don't know how some people keep comments and some people don't, and I don't know what's going on. So I guess I'm going to go out there and share what I've seen. So this is supposed to be STST, right? Not FTFE. Has a video called "The Day Conspiracy Cats Gave Me My Brain Back," which is pretty great, where he accepts that flat Earth is dumb. Well, that's good. That's good. I was checking back to see that my other video wasn't going to clash with this particular one, but I did a video fairly recently as well, like last year, where I looked at the what do you call it, the hotspots, and it's it's like my 10th video on this particular channel. So let me just I'll do the represent thing again, and I'll show the second one. Here we go. Okay, so this one, can you see? No, you can't yet. There we go. Okay. All right. See this video, right? This is one of the early ones that I went out there and did, and I noticed this by chance. I was like, we had a couple of balloons in the house, and I thought, let me go out there and double check it, because I looked at the black ball and it had a hotspot on it, and I was like, okay, well, I've got like a pink one, a green one, a blue one, a yellow one, and I just blew them all up, and I blew up the white one, and the white one just happens to be obviously a fairly similar color to what the moon is. And as you can see, I had this conversation in one of those spaces one day where I said, okay, not only is the moon in a whiter shade, right, but it's also lots of powder, and lots of powder can make light reflect in all different directions. Whereas if it was polished, if the ground was just polished like an ocean is, like if you're a flat ocean, it's a mirror effect, right? If you've got a polished effect and it's darker, you will see the hotspot better. Like as you can see in that particular image, you can see exactly where the sun reflection is. It's a little tiny orange spot straight in the center. But the white balloon, which is not shiny at all, it's actually quite diffuse, shows no hotspot at all, and you cannot tell when you look at that balloon which direction is actually facing the sun the best. You can see a little bit of you can see around the backside a little bit of darkening, but you can't see a hotspot. It's actually like it's almost consuming like 70% of the actual balloon. But yeah, I mean, it's like I have the video. I'll just make sure it's muted. So I actually where did I take it out? I took it outside, and as you can see,
this is again, a very simple experiment. You've got two balloons, a black one and a white one, right? Now, you can use the word diffuse and talk about hotspots and everything like that. But here
Mm.
you are doing an actual experiment, trying to explain, the moon or the sun, doing its thing, right?
Mhm.
Yet when you showed something like this to say, well, this is how the moon looks like, and have your balloon doing exactly the same thing, like someone did with a golf ball, they go, oh, nah.
Yep.
That's all you get.
Yeah, and I mean, would you consider this a scientific experiment?
Well, you got two variables. You got two balloons. You got the
Mm-hmm.
independent and the dependent variable. The sun.
Yep. I may not have gone out there and
yes.
wrote a full document on it,
But
I mean the video
peer-reviewed.
document. The video is almost a scientific document in itself,
Correct.
because I tried to discuss what the expectation is and all that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. So, in a lot of ways, it actually kind of is. But yeah, there you go.
The classic Feynman lecture where he starts off, everything starts off with a guess. Right?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Guess what your experiment might do, and then you go, okay, so then you put in all these other factors. That's the first thing they'll do, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yep.
but no, it's going to be actually perfect. Oh, for frick's sake, man!
Yeah, well, I mean,
when Fatsoid was trying to give a CT a hard time about the exactness of things, I said, get real, buddy.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that thing, and as soon as he started to say you need to calibrate the scale every single time you do the experiment, I went, okay. For starters,
Why?
like, you've completely missed the point.
Correct.
So if you've missed the point, then this conversation is now over. There's no more conversation anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what was it? What was he going about the causation and the calibration? What the frick, man?
Look, a lot of time when people do all that double speak and shit like that, I tend to tune out. I like to keep it simple. I don't want to go out there and talk about causation and all that sort of shit. Just show me something that works, and we'll talk about it.
Right, but they don't do that. They can't do that. I mean, even
they just like to fluster people with lots of bullshit.
Yeah, they do.
But I don't want to deal with that sort of stuff. If you do something in front of me, like do a jig and tell me which feet land last. I mean, that's the sort of experiment I want to see. Tell me what to look at and what are we going to deduce from it. So, I'm just going to see if I can figure out the where's my video of the moon phases. And so this is a really nice video as well. Let me just get it up. Here we go. Is it showing? Well, no, it's not showing. I've got to add to stage.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, here we go.
You're getting better. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just go back. And what I might do is I might throw it into 2x speed so that it's just a bit more fun. So as you can see, what I went down the football field and I went and got a basketball and I painted it grey. Now I put it on a bottle. It fell out over a few times, which was fun. So I kept on doing it. But as you can see, I've got the grey basketball, and it's showing the quarter phase right there. And now, with my headlights right at it, you can't see the moon at all. So that's a new moon right there. Yeah. And I dipped down, and as you can see there, that would be what a solar eclipse would look like if I'm blocking my headlights out. Yep. And I even considered pulling one of my globes out.
Could you just pause it right there? Just pause right there.
Where to?
I'll go back. Just forward. And let's leave it to pause. Keep going. There, right there. Stop. Right.
Yep.
Now, so here's your this is the moon, right? You've got the white side and the dark side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I first heard that the moon is self-illuminating, and I look at the moon and I see this, I'm thinking, hang on, if the moon
where the
was
dark is pushing into the light.
Yeah, if the moon is self-illuminating, the whole thing would be white. You bloody idiots.
Yes, but I think the noticeable thing about this, right, is in this particular frame. What you'll notice is the black darkness, right, is past the 50% line, right, correct. And so it's bulging into the lit zone, right, and that's something that you wouldn't go and do with some sort of light, because that's a piece of evidence showing that it's got shape. What is that shape? But yeah, I'll continue it on. As you can see, you get to the halfway point right here. So there's halfway point. I stopped it for a little bit. Now there was a time where for some strange reason my phone jiggled and it sort of fucked it up at one stage. Now, one thing I do here is I creep down and I use my body to block it out. Now, of course, I've got two headlights going in two different directions, which make it a little bit annoying. And there's another funny thing too. One thing you will notice over. Can you see over here? That's the actual moon. It was full moon, by the way. Did you see? I don't know if you can see my mouse or nothing, but up in the top left-hand corner, that's the full moon up in the distance.
Wow.
So I did it on a full moon when I did it.
There you go.
But as you can see here, effectively, I use my big fat ass to sort of block the moon to make a lunar eclipse.
Oh, you wouldn't even see the moon if you were huge ass.
That's it. I don't know how big that guy is, but I mean, he always talks about it, so I don't know why he does that. But yeah,
yes.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I've with a fucking basketball and my fucking car headlights, I have clearly displayed all the possibilities of what a moon does. Very, very, very simple. And when I see people say, "Oh, look, this half moon is half lit," and they say that this is the Earth blocking half of the moon, I go, "Holy shit, guys! These phases happen 12 times a year, but the eclipse only happens like maybe once to twice a year."
Uh-huh.
I think it's twice a year.
Wasn't that Riley? Riley had a bet on the moon. He would bet £1,000 because the moon would do an eclipse every month or something like that. Yeah.
Really? Well, you lost that. You would have lost that very clearly.
Oh dear. It's always amusing listening to first put up their stuff.
Yeah. I can see it's gone back up to 3 after it was down to 1 follower again. Is Roasty watching us still?
I don't know.
I wonder if I've got any other moon videos. Some of my earliest videos. Some of my earliest videos, because I had some of these videos on my Swala account.
Yeah.
And because I decided to split off and then make a Flat Earth only channel, this one that you're talking on right now, I actually deleted it from the old channel. So they predate this channel, some of these videos. But some of the oldest videos I actually do have are videos that I don't know if it's not showing it. That's good. Okay, so let me do this and let me just see whether or not it's still showing. Yes, it is. See, because I've got the same window open, I can continue to get the videos going. So this is one of my oldest videos. And I must have done this probably like, I don't know, maybe 2019 or something like that. So way before this channel even started. But I'll play this one here. So how do we know we live on a globe? And this was way before TFE even was conceived. So
look at that moon out there. Wow, incredible.
Yeah. So what I did, right, was I went and found the original Southern Star light with the watch. Yes, the one that some people think is fake because the west text and the north text are embedded in the actual mountains somehow. It's like someone put a huge Hollywood sign up on top of the mountains. Yeah. And of course, this one here I think is from Alaska or something like that. So what I did was I went and I recorded them both and I timed them to where they strike the same point. And then I compressed whichever video was longer and whichever video was shorter, so that they matched in timescale. So it's not a perfect match, but effectively what I've tried to do is I've tried to make it do exactly the 24-hour session, and make sure that the north and the south are both 24 on the money. And same thing for this one too. So I tried to make sure that the Southern Star Trails and the Northern Star Trails were exactly the same speed. So yeah, this is an old classic video I did years ago, and Piper loved it. And yeah, it was awesome. But a lot of people say, "Oh, this is all CGI and stuff like that." Well, you know, I mean, that front picture may have been artistic, but these videos are real.
I just posted my short one for you to watch. It's very short. It's one of my first ones.
Yeah,
4 years
and where?
ago.
Yep. Can you put it in the private chat?
Sure, I'll do it for you.
Put it in private chat, because I think it's easier for me to copy the ones in private chat rather than the ones
There you go.
that are on.
It does have music in it. I'm not sure if we copyrighted, so you might want to turn the music on.
I've already got mute set on there. So let me go to present, share screen. Can I change
it's good with the music? So if you play a little bit of it, they'll get the theme of it anyway.
Look, is there any talking in it?
No. So if you play the music, you'll probably be better. But if you can, if you want to.
I obviously don't want to get what? Okay, moon phasing.
Yeah.
How the hell did you spell vacuum? Why wouldn't you check that before you? Oh, look at the panties. Look, you see the G string on the two butts.
Yeah,
the butt cheeks. He's got G string on the two butt cheeks, and he I hope he doesn't do that to the girls down the beach. Just goes out there and sticks his fingers on their butt cheeks like that.
So yeah, you can play it without the music if you want.
Okay.
And I'm singing in the background.
This is wild. I'm glad you can
like a big pizza pie and some amore.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think that's important for me to put up at this point. But I mean, it's good that it's in the chat now. Right. In fact, what I will do is I will we'll go to comments, and I will go. Oh, Boomer's up. I'm going to share it on the screen, so if anyone wants to go out there and click on it, that's fine. So you can watch it. I got Boomer in the backstage, so I'll quickly before I go to Boomer, what I'm going to say. Obviously, first things first, please check your how to spell vacuum before you write it on the front. It doesn't end with an E. Moon phasing. There is no phasing. There's phases. There's no phasing. And he's actually written looking from the southern hemisphere. It'd be interesting to double check that actually. But yeah, fascinating that he's drawn a fucking G string over here. Just delicious. I will. Oh God. I was talking, and I didn't realize it was not on screen. That's fine. Yeah. Anyway, you can see the G string up in the top corner, and you can see how he spelled vacuum. What a dildo. Okay, Boomer, out on stage.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you going?
Oh, that's good. What was that line? And when you hit by a jug in a South Auckland pub, it's a Maori. Sorry, I had to add that one.
Is that what they say? Is it?
No. There's just a whole lot of variations on that particular that Frank Sinatra song. So, how are you guys? My voice is a bit cactus because it's a hot day and a hot night.
It is.
Where are you? 37 degree. Are you down in Victoria, or are you up where it's raining and flooding, or hot cyclone?
Yeah. I'm in Melbourne, so I'm guessing like 37.5 or something like that. Yeah, degrees.
Oh yeah.
That's latitude, not temperature.
Yeah, I know. Yes. And in fact, I had an American say to me how freedom units are so much better and more intuitive. And I thought, yeah, your freedom units are really good because we have degrees C. 0's freezing, 100 is boiling, and we have 10, 20, 30, 40. Like, how is yours intuitive? You Americans. Anyway, guys,
yep.
You do have a few other flat earthers you've missed because I've been listening. Yes. Sean G actually campaigns against flat earth now. The thing is with them, I've noticed all the flat earthers who've changed, they still have very shit debating techniques.
Right.
Like, how do you explain this? Well, you have to get the level. How do you explain level? Well, level is going to be parallel. How do you explain parallel? Well, when? How do you explain when? Okay, dude, I'm just over this shit. Obviously, you know what I mean? Like the whole phonetics game, I'm kind of at the end of it now.
That's kind of similar to what I was saying to Mum Bugs Cakes at the beginning, where I was saying, I don't know if you were watching it at the time, but like, here's a car. How many wheels are on it? Oh, like, I don't know. Fucking the car is red. They just don't. It's like, fucking give me a fucking straight answer, you fucking idiot. But
Sorry,
I mean, even Cakes tried to throw me a spanner by saying you could only see 3.
Well, I did notice one earlier. You were speaking of Brenda, who I will admit is very what's the word? Confrontative, is it?
Confrontational, but hilarious. I think she's rather hilarious when she gets on stage.
I agree totally. However, today was an interesting one over at EA because they were doing the old 9/11 thing, and my thing with 9/11 is if I was the CIA and it was my gig to pull off the World Towers or do whatever they needed to do, I'd probably just grab an old aircraft carrier, take it over to the Middle East, blow it up, and say do a main thing, like a false flag there. Why do all the all the trimmings and get caught with the 9/11 stuff? And we then just started saying, it was basically incompetence. And then this guy called what's his name? Decan Frost came in and just yelled at us and showed us the whole mode. You people all believe all the news you ever hear. Well, okay, tell us the truth then. Like apparently what we believe everything we hear, but he's there to tell us what we have to believe. I don't know. It's just the way it was all. What was it? Just dodgy invoices and the way they cling to these little conspiracies, guys. It's just you don't have that much evidence.
One of the things I've thought about is the fact that it was like literally 24 years ago. There are kids running around today, drink driving and stuff like that, which are older than 24 years. So like in a lot of ways, 9/11 happened a long time ago. It's almost a quarter of a century. It doesn't really matter anymore.
Yep.
But what do you? Well, I'm trying to figure out your motive behind blowing up an airplane character because when it comes to 9/11, I think it was like it's an attack on the country's pride. So what did you mean?
Oh well, if it was me, I wouldn't make it such a big operation. I would just get an old due to be decommissioned carrier, throw it in the Gulf, blow it up, get some good little CGI happening, and then say, "Oh, look at this! We've been attacked, a surprise attack," and do the old Pearl Harbor thing all over again because that worked.
Yeah, but do you think the American public would support a war over something they didn't get to see?
Well, they did in Pearl Harbor, so I would base it on that. But I'm just more throwing up.
That probably was a different time when they had newspapers and radios, but no TV and stuff like that.
True, yeah. But there was also
it was during the middle of a World War II as well, so there was a live war happening. But the thing I think about 9/11, right, is that it was a direct attack on the pride and on the hearts of the American people, to the point where they saw a symbol collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anything, it would have been a method to be able to infuriate people to join the cause.
Yeah. So would you be suggesting this is like create the enemy within the enemy without, sort of Goebbels 101 type stuff? You know what I mean? Like
it's causing. It would have caused like bloodthirsty anger from a lot of people who watched. And that's the thing. That's how you get support for a war. You get support for a war by getting the people happy about it. That's my line of thinking. I would think if you blew up an old decommissioned aircraft carrier in the middle of the Gulf, it would be yesterday's news, like no time.
Well, yeah, of course, word would be naturally. If I'm the CIA, I've pretty much got control of this, so I would be holding it. But that's the way. We're talking about we need to contain it so it doesn't get too many conspiracy people onto it. But look, the point I was making, I didn't really want to make it into a 9/11 stream anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It was more about the way these people do like to think. Mind you, we can talk about that down the track because that is, if you look at certain things through history, it's a wonderful subject matter and you could fill out a few hours. But what I was getting at more was with the psyche of these flat earthers, how they're so quick to say, everyone's lied to me, I've been ripped off, that they're just auto hoaxes. And so therefore, if you're an auto hoax, if everything's a hoax, well, nothing's a hoax or nothing. I don't know. It's you can't believe anything. So how does that
one
work?
thing I like to think about things like that too is the fact that if you're constantly believing that everything's out to get you or something like that, you live a life of fear, and it's not a very enjoyable life that way. There is a good. It is kind of a good thing to be able to go out there and live in a state of bliss. and just forget about some shit.
Yeah. Of course, most of us are too busy paying bills and doing things to actually worry too much about it. But there are real
Yeah.
things out there you could go and chase up if you wanted to. Yeah, there are certain dodgy, what's the word, issuing of government contracts. What do you call it? Whether or not you're into renewables or not into renewables, there's always someone is going to have a bad view. So it must be terrible to be a politician because there's always someone going to yell at you, whatever decision you make. So, in fact,
Yeah, well,
we
you've
have.
raised an interesting question. And actually, it's like one thing I wouldn't mind talking about, and I don't know if it's going to really help because no one watches this channel anyway. But I've been hearing obviously about most of the windmills that get installed up in Queensland, and the way that they just they go out there and they carve like gravel tracks right up to the peaks of all these little mini peaks inside some native area, like to the point where they like clear a 50 meter by 50 meter patch so the truck can do reversing and stuff like that and drive the like the big blades up to the very top, and then they just put them at the top there, and then they just leave them. Maybe they maintain them once in a while, but effectively it's gone out there and destroyed all the peaks inside the nature's area, and most of the peaks where the rainfall will fall onto a forest, and it'll go down from the top down. So all the it would be causing damage down at the bottom as well, where the water would displace. There's just a lot of fucking around with putting up windmills in these types of places. I'm very unhappy about it.
Yeah, look, I too agree. In fact, if you want to take this back a little further, if you went back to that insulation thing back in, I think it was 07, 08, when
Yes.
Kevin Rudd got in. Now, to me,
Yes.
that was such a good initiative, and that was one of the things that would have made a difference, and it became a political football. And I was just so saddened by the fact that now we can do something. We've got change. We
You
can
know
really make a difference. And yeah, it all became the House of Cards politics shit.
Well, why did it become a football? That's the question.
Well, if you want me to get into it, this is an in my opinion thing.
I have my own answer.
What's your answer? I think Peter Garrett being in charge of the environment when it should have been someone perhaps like Greg Combay, because although he's a fair singer in a rock band and knows how to make albums and write songs, I don't think he understands the mass implementation of a rather large government subsidised insulation scheme. I just don't think there were people for the job given the right job. But Greg Combay probably could have done better at that myself. But I don't know. I just think it was political football myself. I just really, I don't know. The truth is in there somewhere, but I just couldn't be bothered finding it all, or it's hard to find it all. But they are the true conspiracies, aren't they?
I think maybe if they had put down a road plan for that particular plan and made it very, very clear, the one thing they really should have put in is they should have put in that that it's to be installed by someone who is registered and has a license for this sort of stuff and has the proper insurances and stuff. Because as far as I know, we had cowboys who would basically knock on old ladies' doors and they'd say, "We're going to go and do some insulation. Would you like us to go and do it?" They climb up there and they just start slapping it in there. Probably only slap half of it in there. Go and get the old ladies to sign, and then it was just a ragged mess up there. So there was a lot of cowboys trying to claim the free money from the government because of this.
Yeah. And a similar thing was actually around for childcare as well. There were people who didn't give a shit about childcare, but what they would found is the government had a formula for basically, if you can keep it to this much down to these costs, the government will fund your childcare for you. So you make a centre. Eddie Groves, I think, was the man involved at the ABC Learning Centres. Now, that was just an exercise in how to rot the government. Like, if we provide the government with these many figures, the governments will give us a check for this many $1 million. And that's all it was. And even after it went bust, he still applied for his CEO bonus as well. So, yeah, I think big implementation, big jobs, they don't understand it. I think we're on the same page there. But anyway, you want to get back to your Crikey binder and seek truth, speak truth in that, mate, because we're off in weird tangents now.
That's fine. No, I mean, I think it's probably not a bad thing because, I mean, we can talk about flat Earth way too much sometimes. But one thing I think that you've just brought up, the things that you've just mentioned, right, they all come down to the government trying to move the invisible hand of the market, and that's where I think that the government need to step out. So when it comes to when I feel about government, I think they need to go out there and they need to have a slush fund that allocates for medical, for all the hospitals to keep running, and to go and replace all the CAT scans and all the towels and all that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
They need to go out there and have the certain amount which allocates like Vic roads or RACV or whatever like that helps with all the roads and the traffic lights and stuff like that. And they need to focus on things like like I know old age pension and all that sort of stuff. So you go out there and get your basic stuff done, right? You get the stuff which gets the council buildings built. You get the stuff which keeps the some of the old ladies with their heaters on and stuff like that. All this other stuff about saying go out there and get your insulation, or go and go out there and support a brand new fucking like statue that hangs off the side of a freeway entrance or whatever like that, should all be scrapped. The government should have no input on things like that. The only thing they should be doing is keeping the schools, the hospitals, and the police running effectively.
Yeah. I it's all bloody rock star shit, isn't it? Really, I just don't want to know about them. I just wish they get on with it and run the country. Like we've lucked out because we don't have what's happening. But when you look at the US, I mean, did they seriously, with Biden and Trump, are they the best two they've got? Like there's 330 million of them. Where are the other ones? But now
it seems so. But I mean, they did have their they have their primaries, I think, where they go out there and they'll get like maybe 15 people who will all debate or something like that. But the primary didn't work out for Kamala this time around. She just instantly got in because she was vice president. But look, it is. It's the best they bloody got, and it's fucking hopeless. And same thing for us too. We've got bloody Albo is, he's up, getting on helicopters these days. He's going to Queensland, and he's just getting rained on. So I don't really know what he's doing. He's probably going to get a mop out soon. He's going to pretend to mop a basketball court that's full of water.
Yeah, the old pre-R stuff. But then look, Winston Churchill's made a wonderful comment where he said the best argument against democracy is a 5-minute discussion with the average voter. And I thought, Winston, you pretty much got it right there. Yeah,
I'd love it. I'd love it if one ordinary person, just a tradie, or a lady who who's like maybe a cleaner or someone who works at a bakery or something like that, to just say, look, this is our problems right now. What can you do about it? And they'd be like, ooh, the bullshit that comes out of their mouth will be just, you wouldn't understand. Just all bullshit.
A lot of it is to do with the hatred media and the divisiveness too there, because every person on TV has got a certain allegiance a certain way. And anyway. But this is probably why people go to Flat Earth, because they have no faith in any system. There's nothing you can really look at and go, this is cool. In fact, here's one for me, but there are people who are Trek heads, Star Trek nuts. And some of these people are actually quite functional in all of their life. They just go to a Star Trek convention and pretend to be Klingons. It doesn't hurt anyone. It's only when they start telling people Klingons are real that it gets to be dangerous. But I mean, we all need this sort of escapism, don't we? I think Flat Earth probably provides them with that. Could that be an innocent way of saying why they're such idiots?
It is to some degree. I guess it's a bit of a hobby, because I mean I did 6 or so years talking about Bitcoin, and now the last couple of years I've just been learning up about about globes and space and stuff like that. So we all change our hobbies once in a while, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to learn more about space.
Well, there are some fantastic ones, but one I discovered, I clicked onto a documentary the other night, Space with David Attenborough, and I thought, that's pretty odd, because David Attenborough,
he's always talking about animals.
Yeah, and this is what got me. Then when it comes on, he started saying certain things, like the southwest wind affects these birds rather strangely. And I thought, David, you'd mispronounced wind there, the southwest wind. I detect this might be a bot. And then the bot fucked up and it sounded like Stephen Hawking. They've got David Attenborough and they've made it a bot. And there are all these documentaries that have got bots with people's celebrities. So it wasn't even David Attenborough, and they couldn't even get it right. So now
Maybe
you've
I
got all
should.
these bots.
Yeah, hey, maybe I should go and get. I should get. Is it Gordon Freeman or something? I should get Gordon Freeman to narrate all my videos from now on.
Well, maybe you could have James L. Jones. Who knows? Obviously,
Yeah,
he
well,
doesn't care.
anyway, yeah. Now that he's no longer with us, I guess he wouldn't really complain.
Oh, I bet you his estate would want some money for it, though. But it's just bizarre how you can be used for things. But although they did mention with deep fakes, but you could almost fake a Middle East war with bots and AI and CGI
Yes.
nowadays, couldn't you?
Yes.
So we do
Yeah,
need to be careful.
I've said to a few people that I see a future with the whole deepfake AI thing, right? Where you can download an app and you think it's a dating site where you can go and meet some girls in your area, but you'll actually end up just in a girlfriend relationship with a fake woman who'll send you fake pictures all day long, and it'll be just an AI bot actually doing it. So there won't be any need for any Nigerian princes anymore. The Nigerian prince will now be an AI bot that he's programmed by some dude in Russia or something like that. And he'll just have that one guy will probably have so many bots that he'll have 10,000 boyfriends, and he'll be getting money from those 10,000 boyfriends. It'll be just making a killing.
Right. The evil algorithm. I mean, when I go and look at my web history, it freaks me out. But there are some people out there, I wonder what their web history looks like. Or maybe I don't.
I can present that up on stage if you would like it. Would you
No,
like me to
no,
bring
no.
your maybe?
No, I wouldn't like that to be seen at all, because I do actually look into some interesting topics when I see something. Go, that sounds strange. Let's type that in. What's her name? Bonnie Blue. 1,000 men in an hour. How many minutes are there in one day? In a day, rather. 1,000 men. That's one every 1.75 seconds. Like, come on, Bonnie. That's not even with a coffee break.
Yeah. Well, she's got to eat her macas somehow, doesn't she?
Well, who knows? But look, there are people. You gave that to me as a business model. I'd say no way, get fuck off. Wouldn't you? You wouldn't say your business model is going to be based on making millions of dollars off incels on the internet. There's not that many, but I'm wrong. There are. There are that many incels.
There really is.
That's
but it's a sad thing too. I feel sad for all the. I feel sad for all the people who be out there and they think they're gonna go and make a girlfriend boyfriend situation with an AI bot and then just be taken advantage of. It's not nice.
Well, yeah. By the way, your used car warranty is due to expire soon too. I just looked at my records there. You might want to renew that. Your extended warranty, on your car. So
did you get webcam? Did you get webcam footage of me pleasuring myself? Because I got to send 0.6 of a Bitcoin to you.
We've actually, we've sent you the what do you call it? The letter of demand in real terms, the threat.
Man, I get those emails like once a week on some of my emails.
What was that old Monty Python flying circus skit where the TV program was called Blackmail? And you had to watch it because he would say, and this one's to Mr. J of Cambridge. You sent us £50, or we're going to disclose the name of your lover in Luton. That's so your wonderful wife, Jeanette, and your two little children, Jimmy and Betty, don't find out about your lover in Luton. That's $50 from Mr. G from, and they just, so the whole TV premise was blackmailing people into sending them money because they had dirt on you.
Well, how did they find out the prior information then? How did they find out the details?
Well, it was Monty Python, so who knows? But the president of the US can actually, he's got access to everyone's information now, doesn't he? Hasn't he threatened that?
That's it. I wonder if they'll ever release. It's obvious they haven't done it by now. They're not going to release Snowden by now.
Snowden, is he the one that released that helicopter footage of the pilot shooting up the people in?
I don't recall which particular footage is the one that got him in trouble, but he was the one who worked for, I think, the CIA or whatever like that. And I think he decided to unclassify a whole bunch of documents without their prior approval. And he's the one who fled to Russia.
All right, because Assange, is he looking at a pardon, or is it?
No, Assange he already landed in. I think he landed in Sydney or Tasmania or something.
And haven't they tried?
Assange is out.
So he's now cleared. Is he? He's done his jail time.
Assange is out.
Okay.
Assange is out. Yeah, he got out like 6 months ago. He got out before Trump got in.
Ah, right. Yeah, well, I didn't know what was going to happen there. Okay, so I must have missed that particular day of the news. No, all right.
Yeah,
Are you
no,
still
no.
there,
He
Mike?
out and he posted a couple of photos of him with his wife. So yeah, they're kicking about. So they're all good.
Are you still there, Cakes?
Yeah. I was wondering, is Case falling asleep?
No, I'm here just listening.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to jump in and like squash you aside. That's why I was curious. Yeah. I thought
Yeah,
I'd scared you off.
Boomer's one of the guys who seems to be in the Discord channel, and I don't know if you're one of the head. I don't know if you organize that place or you're just one of the head sort of controllers or something like that, or not.
I moderate in Globe
Moderate.
Gangsters and
Yes.
moderate in Triple M. But I just go and
Triple M.
listen
What's
in
Triple M?
what is it? Medicinal Mass Media. That's Demon
Oh,
Stride's
Medicinal.
channel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
fair
familiar with those ones? Yeah, they're
A bunch
actually
of loonies
two.
there.
What was
Yeah.
that?
A bunch of loonies there.
Aha, that's true. Well, they've sort of disappeared, a lot of them nowadays.
That's
Most
good.
of the ladies. Yeah, some of them are a bit out there, but they're all across Discord. It's a very, I don't know. Discord seems to be getting more and more toxic of late. I don't often want to go back there. I more spend time listening on YouTube on hot nights.
Yeah.
Also, with the time difference, what tends to happen is when we're there in the early evening, all the Americans
Yes.
it's midnight and drunk o'clock for them.
Yes.
So they're quite drunk. Then as we get round to being drunk o'clock or tired or insomniacs, the Englishmen are getting up. So
That's
their
right.
AM and our evening is okay. And then so you have these like different shifts of different. So I don't go in during the day at all. I just try to not be on the computer all day.
It's kind of like what's kind of happening right now is the fact that most Americans are fast asleep right now, and
yeah,
some of the English are watching right now. So, but I mean, it's back to one people watching anyway. So,
okay.
it's must be riveting stuff. But I mean, we're having a good chat, which is fun.
That's true. That's the whole point. If you're here for likes and views and whatever, you got to do something like. I do a football server, and the problem with that is it's a football server. It's about Collingwood Footy Club. We go in and talk about the club. And we've got people bringing up Indigenous round and Trump and Biden and all this. Guys, hey, I know you like to talk politics, but this is not a politics server, and shut up and get the fuck out. Like,
show us your tips.
Yeah. Yes.
What's your footy tips of the week?
Who's going to win?
Yeah, that's
let's
right.
talk about someone's football player. Yeah.
Boomer, are you Victorian or are you?
I am.
Else?
Yes. No, I'm Victoria. I'm actually central West Victoria. I'm just near the bushfires right now. So, yeah.
I don't honestly know where the bushfires in Victoria right now.
Near the Grampians. All the
Grampians.
Grampians.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And because it's national park, they can't get in because it's very tricky. If you go in, there's no way out. You are up the creek without a paddle. So once it gets out of the park,
SCS map.
Yeah, once it gets out of the parks, we can actually get access to it through farmland. So that's when it's okay. So yeah, we've had favourable conditions up until now. So yeah,
I'm just gonna.
That's so Victoria, it's bloody hot right now, but
yeah, I bet. Just before I actually share this, I'm not just double check that there's no doxable information on it. It looks pretty good so far. Yeah, no, there's nothing on there. It's good. Always got to make sure that there's no doxable information on some of the things you share. Let's have a bit of an add to stage. Yeah, so this is the SCS incident warning thing, and so yeah, there must be. Yeah, shit. Grampians is a bloody man. They've got some fires.
Yes, but as you can see, that's a very large area.
Near Nile as well.
Yes. Well, Gimboola and further up that they actually were almost going to be told to leave. But that little area there, we're kind of lucky. The wind, if it turns around to push the fires under us, it's got to go through the Grampians virtually. So I'm up at the northwest quarter of the Gramps, up near Horsham Way.
Is this black shaded and grey area? Is that actually burnt land right now?
No, I think that's part of Grampians National Park.
It's just a park.
Agree. It's a danger area.
I kind of wonder whether or not this actual line is where there's actually been some burning happening.
Well, it's just a be ready.
I thought that's the way it was.
Yeah, it's basically be prepared to evacuate you may get a text straight away. But of course, that's
Yep.
throw your phone, your charger in, have a change of clothes. But we're okay where we are.
Yeah, there's a couple of little ones. See, look at this. You see how this one over here, there's like a section which is like off limits, incident area. See that?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's just a couple of house fires around there. What the fuck? There's someone drowning out there or something. Rescue road trap, whatever the hell that is. And which that's a Yarra Rangers Park. And something. What the hell's up at Mount Buller? There's some sort of. Oh, there's a bushfire up at Mount Buller. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Odd.
But isn't it ironic? And right now, Brisbane's got floods, or Queensland's got floods.
Yeah. Do you know what the what's the incident? What's the SES version for Queensland?
Oh, I don't know right now, but do you remember we had the cyclone blew up over above West Aussie, and then virtually directly opposite New South Wales, which is where you are, Bakes Cakes. I think they got really heavily rained on. And then now it's sort of swung around, and Queensland got the floods, and we're getting the bushfires, which was very similar conditions to Black Saturday, where it was bushfires down here. But I was up in Queensland at that stage, and we were being flooded at that point too. So it was 2006, 7, I think, 5, 6, 7, something like that. So not quite 20 years ago. So we live in a very hot country. There's not much water, and it gets bloody hot.
Yeah, it certainly is. No, we don't really get earthquakes all that much, but we got lots of floods, cyclones, and fires. That's for sure.
Yes, but all those Americans go, everything's trying to kill you. Hey, mate, all I ever have out here for security is a stick. I don't know. We haven't got bears chasing us, have we? Or bloody cougars, or sure, we got some snakes, but I don't know. Snakes are more scared of us than we are of them.
Yeah.
It blows me out how they all think we're in such a dangerous place, but I think that's good. It keeps them away. So yeah, just stay over there, mate. Too many snakes for you.
Well, yes. I had an American come and visit like over summer. I think he's come over from like New Jersey or something like that. And we're just showing him around. He's driving around in an Aussie, basically a Hilux or something like that. So I don't know. Hey, he seemed to be coping all right. He wanted to come over and have a bit of a surf. He went down to we took him down to Bell's Beach and stuff like that. And yeah, I bet he had a bit of a surf. But yeah, I'm sure he's back by now. So yeah. What are you up to, Cakes?
Oh, just watching a few videos on YouTube. I mean, Facebook, etc.
Hey, I want to ask you guys a question, and and don't Google it. Just off the top of your head, right?
Yeah.
Can we see radio waves?
No.
Oh, I reckon there's a way to do it.
But with your eyes?
No.
Probably not naked eye, but I think if you set up, the rubbing alcohol experiment you do to see neutrons or little.
No, I haven't heard that one.
Oh, you need a very cold. I think you need dry ice or something. You put it on a fish tank, and then put a tissue sprayed with rubbing alcohol, and every so often you'll see a little, like a bullet-shaped thing go through the rubbing alcohol. And you get like a little, it's a neutron, or whatever, or something or other from outer space. I would imagine you could do it that way. It's an electrical disturbance disturbing the alcohol because it's freezing and hot and something. I don't know. But no, not from the naked eye. Can we or can't we?
No. As far as I'm concerned, no. Yeah, I would say that it's outside our visual range.
And?
Yeah.
No, I'm just asking a question. Just asking if you can see radio waves with your bare eyes.
No.
And
you can't see magnetism either.
No, you can't see magnetism either. Does radio have a color?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think so.
Ooh.
I'm not talking about like does the radio on your bedside table have a color? I'm asking if the radio waves have a color.
I don't think so.
No.
Are they?
What if we had mini meteorites flying towards us, what would happen as they were approaching us?
They'd burn up.
And why? And why would they burn up? What would be your summarization as to why they would burn up?
Because they hit our outer atmosphere at warp speed, and because our atmosphere is made of, even though flat earthers say there's the Kármán line, or whatever you want to call it, that particular area is charged or whatever it is, and that's when they hit that speed, they break up and burn up.
Yeah, would you say there's a little bit of electric in there, or do you think it's just purely air mass?
Mass.
Yep. Would you say it's is it friction, or is it like, something more along the lines of
Friction.
A meteorite is covered in gunpowder or something like that?
Friction.
Yes. See, this is just simple things, I think, and it's hard to realize. It's hard to understand why people think that these simple things cannot be just spoken about.
Well, like when I know flat earthers don't like the particular moon landing or anything to do with the moon, but we've seen when the spaceships come back into our orbit or through the, what do we call it? They're really hot.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's caused by friction, not caused by anything else.
Yes, and so if here's another question, because this is something I had on one of Vlad's things. So an SR-71, I think Bluebird or Blackbird, I can't remember that.
Blackbird.
The stealth plane. So Bluebird.
I think it's Bluebird. Yeah.
Bluebird. Okay. So the SR-71, right?
Either one.
And the shuttle. The shuttle Columbus, the one that has that large hatch at the back that opens up and it's got like the Canada arm, and it
I know where
throws
you're
like
going.
satellite up.
Yeah.
Which one of those aeronautical creations would fly better?
Right. The aerodynamic one is the SR-17, the Blackbird.
The SR-71.
Yeah.
And what would you define? Maybe Boomer can answer this one, seeing as you've answered the last few one. What would define these crafts as being the betterer flying device?
Well, I would say when you're talking about flying device, the SR does both, whereas the shuttle is just a return vehicle, so it doesn't actually take off. So I'd say the SR-71's probably got to be the better flying device.
Yes, it can lift. It can lift off the tarmac. It can go up to a certain height. It can probably do a barrel roll, I would imagine, and it can go back down and then land again.
Yeah.
Whereas the shuttle cannot get up off a runway tarmac.
No.
It cannot achieve its own altitude. It can only fall down at like a rate of 35 odd degrees or something like that. From what I've seen, it has to pitch down at quite an alarming degree because of the fact that it does not have the amount of wing area versus its weight. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's like a big brick with wings.
Yeah, that's what I remember them saying, with big brick wings with wings. So they have to keep the pitch down. If they leveled out the pitch, they would lose altitude too much, and they would stall, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and it was relying on friction to slow it down.
Yeah.
You're probably comparing a touring boat with a water skiing boat here. They've got different purposes, and therefore they won't probably do the other task that well. I like a four-wheel drive, it's okay for both dirt and trail, but yeah, it kind of does both. But yeah, the other ones are better. The more specialist ones are better. What's the other thing with the SR-71 is that while it's sitting on the tarmac, it's leaking fuel because under the loads and stresses it gets up there, it's got to force itself into a position where it seals. And the only way they can do that without the substructure cracking to pieces up there under stress is that it leaks fuel at sea level. So they have to fill it up quickly. Off you go. And it leaks fuel, avgas, onto the runway until it gets to about 1 kilometre or so up into the air. And it's got to really go fast to get up to there. It's got all these amazing laws of physics. You think, what the fuck? you would bar it. You would actually not have it landing at your airport, local airports, because
Yes.
of all the
And
fuel.
another thing about the SR-17 is they did it
71.
all. They did it all on paper with tools and rulers.
Yeah, they didn't draw it in CAD or anything like that.
No.
But I mean, I think what Boomer has also talked about is the fact that when a SR-71 gets up to the certain altitude that it has to get up to a height where it can fly at somewhere between 1 psi to about 2 psi in external air pressure, and that basically means that the shell needs to be built to a certain pressure so that when it gets up to that, I guess it expands. Its body can expand out, but I think it also doesn't it also heat up faster because of the air pressure too. Because of the fact that it has to fly it beyond max speed, the temperature on the outside of the actual plane will heat up more than what the other planes do when they're down below Mach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any comments, Boomer, on that? You were talking about the way it leaks fuel, and I'm guessing that's because it's designed to push out, I guess. No, I think it's designed to push in, I'm guessing.
Push in, I think.
It's just weird that like when I was quizzed about this, I said I don't think that the shuttle flies better. Right? I literally used that line on the stream. It doesn't fly better because it goes faster. These people, they were saying, okay, so the SR-71 can go 2,200 mile per hour, right? Whereas the shuttle can go 17,000 mile per hour. And so they defined that a craft that can go 17,000 mile per hour can fly better than a craft that does 2,200 miles just because of the speed. And I said, that's just not the case at all. I would classify better as being something that just should be able to lift off, fly in the air at cruising altitude, do a barrel roll if it wants to, and then land. That defines better. Your agility is more of a definer of how good it is.
Well, another point I'd like to bring across is if they do bring up the space shuttle, they're bringing in the word space and shuttle into an argument where they don't believe in space, either of them.
No, that's true. That's true.
Good point.
I think they said the shuttle Columbia, so I don't think they used the word space. I think they had to get me to say that. But it's true. I mean, the amount of people you kind of catch them saying atmosphere and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oops, sorry, oops, guys, you just said sphere.
Right.
Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed the amount of people who go out there and say, well, why is the planet flying at like fucking Mach 15? Sorry, why is the planet like flying at like I don't know what the correct number is. I'm just saying
1,000 miles per hour.
The planet's flying in Mach 15 around the sun, and I just put my head into my hands and I think, do you guys know what Mach even means? Mach is traveling through an air medium. It does not mean its speed, because Mach speed is different at sea level as it is to Everest level as it is to the 60,000 feet. The Mach speed changes from height to height.
Yeah.
So it's not a set measurement. It's like getting a meter measuring tape, and the distance for a meter changes at whatever height you want to lift up. If you measure the ceiling, it measures 950 centimeters. Where you measure on the ground, it measures a meter and 50 mil.
But they've got to go. I mean, when they first broke the sound barrier, with Mach 1. They had to go to a certain height and a certain speed, if you saw the movies or whatever it is, to throw this thing at this particular speed to break the sound barrier.
Yes.
I mean, we've advanced so much since then. It's like a walk in the park these days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm kind of curious what would max speed need to be at 20 meters above sea level.
Well, if you look it up, it'll say the speed level, the speed of sound is like 712 miles per hour at sea level, and then increases blah 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 as you go up. So
Mhm.
depending on your altitude, so even if you were flying up, you're going to break in and out of the sound barrier unless you go really
Yes.
quickly and accelerate through. So
Yes.
that's a real tricky one. Real strange set of circumstances there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And I've seen memes too where they've got a fighter jet that has got a shockwave going over the wings, right? And they're saying that the aeroplane is doing Mach 2.2, right? And it needs to fall at a certain rate because of the fact that it's going over the curve. But I don't think you'll get that type of plane to do Mach 2.2 at just 20 meters above sea level. It's not fucking possible. It'd bloody break to pieces.
You're probably right too. Yeah.
I'd say it would explode. It would literally.
And you got a lot of birds and other debris in that particular area too. Yeah.
Oh well, that's it. Yeah, you would hear a couple of seagulls and it lights out for you.
Yeah.
And you'd have the 10 gun salute at the cemetery. So no good at all.
There is actually one, and I think you'll probably know the one where it's got the two big gills either side of the pilot. They're virtually semicircular intakes for the jet, which does all the afterburning and back. I think it's a Saab. Now, apparently, once it starts getting up to about Mach 2.5, 3, Mach 4, the incoming air fuel requirements of the sound of the actual speed is way more than the motor needs, and it creates a big vortex outside that fucks up the handling. So they actually have flaps that slow down the incoming air, because the more air up at those speeds actually is detrimental. It needs less, it needs about.
This is what's wild about it, is the fact that when you get into those things, the rule book just gets thrown out in a lot of ways, doesn't it?
Oh, it's fascinating. It is fucking fascinating. What's more fascinating is the brilliance of the guys who fix these problems. You know what I mean? Like, they are just so fucking smart. I love getting big brain bastards around. You do meet them occasionally in Discord, but they don't hang around too much.
Yeah.
Well, we've had the pleasure of Professor Phil Bell in the chat in our Discord here.
He's good. So's Curse with a high IQ, Paul. He's a very, very clever man as well. And who else? PhD Tony. He's also good for a chat.
Crackatony.
or Crackatony, as we like to call him.
Yeah, I don't. Whoa, what the hell? What's going on here?
And another thing, Boomer is like,
oh god, my computer went into screensaver for no reason. Anyway, keep talking.
Yeah, I was in regards to you mentioned about the SR7, whatever it is, and the space shuttle. They've got both these. I mean, the rocket engines on the back of them, especially for the space shuttle, when it goes into space. And they go, how does this rocket work in space? Well, they're bringing their own bloody oxygen in the first place to push off the inside of the what do you call it, the dome or whatever it is called, to push out the jet to create the reaction as other reaction, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think third law of motion, I believe it is Newton's third law, which is every action results in a equal and opposite reaction. I've tried to explain to people that that the inverse reaction actually happens at the point of exit. So if you've got a nozzle, it happens right at that tip, because everywhere else from there is going to be a much lower diffuse power. I mean, if you're one of those people who's strapped to a jet ski, right, and you've got the two hoses on your fists, right, you're not pushing against the air because the air is not got enough resistance to be able to push you back up again. It's the water that's blasting out the nozzles that's next to your fists. So it's that exact point right where it exits right next to your fist, which is the point that's going up. So you can see someone, they'll turn one fist to the left and one fist to the right, and then they'll start twirling. So it's got nothing to do with any of the air around the person. It's got to do with the direction that the material is exiting the nozzle.
Yeah, a fire hose, the way it gets a wobble up. When a fire hose
that's it.
Around like
Get the pressure up, and the thing you can't control it. Yeah.
Even though it's in the atmosphere, it's actually the rocketry pushing against the hose either side, wiggling it around.
Yeah, and it's not the hose going down to the back either. The hose is the wag in the tail.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, those principles still work on what are they those old jetpacks that have the motor, a boat with a motor, and you can actually do a jetpack out of it, but you're stuck to the boat with a motor because it's out down on the sea level.
Yeah, that's the one I was mentioning before, where you go where you connect your two hoses to a jet ski,
like a hoverboard
you,
sort of thing.
yeah, you sort of fly in your fists.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Or they sometimes put one on. They put you on a small little board, and it comes out from underneath your ankles. And that's the one where they go and grab some fat chick off a jetty, and then they sink down, and they have to turn it really high up, and then they just fucking crash. Hilarious.
Well, I did see a guy explain how the hover car will not be a thing because of government red tape. Because apparently there's only 4 or 5 manufacturers that are certified to make plane engines, and to get certification now is prohibitively expensive. So Rotax is one of them. British something other, BAOC or one of those. There's only 5 companies that can make actual aircraft engines, and to then make that into a car that would turn into a hover car would be so prohibitively expensive that the hover car is never going to happen, guys. You're just going to have to give it a poll.
It's never going to happen. But there's one problem that's far greater than what that is.
Oh, people are idiots.
Yeah, people are idiots, right? So how are you going to go and get insurance for people who are going to go and drunk drive their hover car, and they're just going to go out there and fucking plow into the roof of McDonald's?
Exactly. Yes.
Right. And most of these people don't know how to see. The thing is, when you're hovering, right, you need to know what's below your car, and you know what's above your car, and on all the 45-degree corners as well. Like even a mate of mine has gone and got himself a pilot's license. He was in a banked corner, and he didn't see one particular plane of an old style until he saw it just above his wingtip. And then he had to change direction and stuff like that. If you go and put a regular person in one of those things, it's panic stations. You would have mad people driving all over the place, just crashing everywhere. It's not.
Yep.
It's a liability nightmare.
Yep, it will never happen. We will never have the hover car. They're not holding back deliberately. We are too stupid for it.
Yeah.
What did Einstein say?
The better idea is to just have tunnels everywhere.
Yeah. Einstein said there are 2 things which have no boundaries, and space, and that is human idiocy. And he's not entirely sure about space. But he's not entirely sure about space.
The thing I was thinking about before I started this tonight's stream is about the old joke of when you debate. Let me see if I can go and get it up. It'll be much easier. The old one where you will never debate pigeons on a chessboard.
Pigeon chess. Yeah.
It sums up a lot of the interactions I sort of deal with these days.
Look, all flat Earth conversations are pigeon chess. That's basically never play chess with a pigeon, because all he's going to do is kick all the pieces over, shit on the board, and coo like how crazy that he won the game. And that's what most flat Earthers will do. Yeah, exactly what they do. What I find amazing is, though, they will say what you just said, like that one you said about the planet spins at 1,100 miles an hour at the equator. Happens to be a very important disclaimer to add to that. At the equator, it doesn't spin at 1,100 miles an hour up at fucking 5 degrees off the Antarctic axial point or the Antarctic or Arctic, any axial point. It's not doing that speed up there. It's only doing that speed at the equator. Everywhere else, it slows down dramatically. So this whole 1,000 miles an hour bullshit, and there's frame of reference and all that they just don't account for.
Well, I've asked the flat earthers, why do you need an equator on a flat earth? They keep bringing it up, and they say, well, why is there an equator on a flat earth?
Yep. Well, here's my kind of gotcha. If by the flat earth logic or the space percher logic, us guys here in Australia, I should be able to take my telescope outside, which I don't have, but if I had one, I could take it outside, point it due north at the horizon, and I should be able to zoom Polaris back into focus, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you do it already? Come on.
Well, because the Earth's not flat. That's why. But when I hit them with that gotcha, they all start saying things. They just
too far.
Nah. Yeah, it just is. Yeah. They
Well,
don't like it. Gotcha.
I've said this to Shane St. Pierre. I've said that Polaris for me is 37 degrees below the northern horizon for me. It's under the dirt, and he just rolls on to the next question. He doesn't really answer me properly.
Yeah.
He
No,
literally avoids trying to answer me in a humble way at all.
yeah. And what about their favourites, Black Swan? This is the one that got me. It's the Black Swan. It's gonna bye ball. The actual picture they put up had the gantry crane being distorted like the neck of a goose. A straight
And
gantry crane in your evidence is actually showing atmospheric refraction. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck? Hang on, dude. Or I'm pouring water onto the ball to prove that water doesn't stick to a ball, but it's sticking to the ball below my feet. But I'm proving it's not sticking to this ball. Yeah, but
Oh yes,
there's a big one a meter below it. You realise that? Yeah, can't you see that? Like, that's pretty blind. You know what I mean? Like, what do you call that? Where you confirmation bias or what? There's a giant ball below your feet, but the water's not sticking to that. That's
well,
crazy.
I've asked them, Boomer. I've asked flat earthers to say, well, hang on, why don't you actually ring up the people who live on those oil rigs out in the ocean where they where they actually do the oil stuff, and ask them whether or not they think the Earth is flat or a globe. They go, "What are you talking about? Of course, it's a globe."
Yeah. The one I do with atmospheric refraction, I like to think of it as what they say is, when you're skipping a stone across a lake.
Yeah.
Now, in certain instances, when you're really, really good and you're well practiced and you've got the right stone and a nice, dead smooth lake, you might get one to skip 6 or 7 or 8 times. But just the fact that you've done that and filmed a few of them doesn't mean that all rocks float, does it? You occasionally, under perfect circumstances, got the stone to skip. That's not the be-all catch-all answer, though. That's the exception, not the rule. And they like to grab that little one exception and try to run with it. And you're just like, dude, that just doesn't. Yeah. Jesse Part of Light's got a good one because he does atmospheric refraction from one mountain to another. There's no ground level stuff fucking it up. He knows the mountain heights, you know what I mean? And can actually calculate that this mountain should be above your eye line because it's 1,100 meters higher, but it's below your line because of earth curvature. So Jesse Part of Light is really good. He goes out to places and does proper recorded experiments. He's a very clever dude too. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It just went very quiet there.
He's gone again. His microphone broke.
Yeah.
Again. Oh, here he is, back again.
Oh, I did it again.
He did it again.
Hey, I wanted to show this video today. So this let me see if I can punch it on stage. So you see this one here?
Yeah.
It is a long one. What the fuck, mosquito? It is a bit of a long one. You probably can fast forward most of it, but this was that one I was talking about before, where Melodome was actually talking to Joe effed up world. It is effed up world, isn't it? Yeah. And this conversation is actually not too bad. So it's kind of interesting to watch these guys talk. So I did want to sort of promote that, I guess, to some degree. Shout out to Melodome for his recent work.
Well, sometimes these are quite funny when you speed them up to 1.5 or 2, because it just gives them that little Mickey Mouse. Yeah, it depends on who you're doing. You don't do it to someone sensible, but when they're at Waker, they sound really funny.
Fair enough. Does anyone know who Hold My Pocket is? Bikes. That photo does look similar. I believe I have seen that cat picture before, but I don't really know what Bikes means. What does Bikes means? Have we ever talked about bikes? Have we? Has anyone talked about bikes?
No.
I was going to go back onto the thing about water mentioned earlier as well.
Yes.
Onto the small scale where they can actually have a high pressure hose cut through, steel girders and stuff like that. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
It is pretty amazing, yeah. And that's wild. And of course, they can do that sort of stuff with laser as well if they get it high enough. But you need it connected to a power source. You can't do it out of battery.
No.
My son always asks me if they'll ever be able to do a real laser gun, and I said, well, most of the actual laser gun that actually hurt need to have a constant power source.
Yeah.
Because if you just do it with battery, it's never going to have enough power. Give me one sec.
Give it another 10, 20 years.
Yeah. What's the theory of a plasma rifle though? How does that work? That's a plasma ball that's generated. You can actually do this in a microwave with a toothpick. If you put the toothpick in pointing upwards and then microwave it, you'll get a little ejection of plasma at the end of the tip of the toothpick. For some reason, it gets a very intense temperature of the surface of the sun type of thing, and it releases a ball of plasma and wrecks your microwave too. So don't go doing it.
Well, what are you putting on the end of the toothpick? Is that aluminium foil or something?
I'm not sure if it's aluminium foil. I think it's just the moisture in the toothpick gets very quickly accelerated up, and in the very tip, it hits what do you call it? One of those critical mass points. It goes into critical mass of generating the atoms into plasma by separating atoms or something. I don't know. It does a bit Dr. Carl stuff for us. Yeah, Dr. Carl Kaczynski or whatever his name is, the guy with the glasses.
Yeah, he's blocked me.
Has he? Why?
Yeah.
What have you done to him?
I don't know. I think back in 2021, I think I may have been in a couple of threads with some people about vaccines or something like that. And I think a whole bunch of people were just getting mass blocked by him. So I was one of them. But in most cases, what he's been speaking about in the last couple of years, I've kind of thought, okay, maybe he is a bit of a dickhead, actually.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes he says weird things.
Stuff. Huh? I've only ever seen him doing Triple J and the ABC stuff.
Yeah.
Ago, so it was
but if you ever go back and listen to it, you kind of go, what the fuck's he talking about? Sometimes he talks about like sneezing and stuff like that. This is really not that fucking important.
Oh, look, I know it's the same with Neil deGrasse Tyson too. Like they all say, your boss Neil deGrasse, and I'm like, no, I've never knew about him until I've seen him on the US News, and I know the way that works. Neil, you've got a topic and you've got 17 seconds. Make it quick. Like, that's it. You don't get to do a proper fucking scientific delivery. It's just like, tell us something that's only going to take 17 seconds because this is breakfast TV and we've got advertisers we need to feed. So, Neil deGrasse. And what's his other guy? The Japanese guy, Dr. Makachi or Bachuki or whoever.
Yeah, Musashi or something. I can't remember. Yes, I know. They all say, he's your guide as well. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no. He's the guy that's on every thumbnail that scientists don't want you to see this and scientists are scared of that. And like, dude, are you letting them do this? Like, sue them or are you taking the money? Like, it doesn't work that way. Clickbait.
I think a lot of flat earthers seem to forget that most of us globe defenders are not paid shills by the scientific community or anything like that. We're just average people who probably do the same job as what they do, but we just think they're dickheads.
Yeah, I think most flat earthers are unemployable though.
They probably lost their jobs.
Would you want them on on say a construction site with you? Like where
if they came up to me every single day and said, "Well, that's only the case because the world's flat," I'd be like, "Okay, it's time." Look, I'd rather you go off and clean bricks for the rest of the day.
Rendering pits is the term. That's where you go in and you're like concrete's got little bubbles, so you got to rub concrete mud over it. Yeah, they'd be rendering pits. You wouldn't have them somewhere like using a fucking demo saw, you know what I mean? Or using a big chainsaw on trees where limbs are falling. You know what I mean? Like some people are unemployable. And some are just dickheads too. Did you saw the final experiment or the aftermath of all that, haven't you?
Well, fully up to date. No, I can't wait. I can't wait till Duffy comes back. I know he's on a holiday, but I can't wait for him to come back.
But look, here's something, and not one of the flat earthers has got this yet, is that Will Duffy is a young Earth creationist. Okay. Maybe if he was to organise the same sort of scientific diligence on young Earth creationism as he does on the flat Earth, he might be not teaching young Earth creationism because Noah is not 700 years old, So I find it interesting how he can be doing that, and I'm not bagging him out because
I think it's less damaging than flat Earth, to be honest.
Well, either way, like
Well,
his
I think if
scientific.
people want to have faith in Jesus and all that sort of stuff, I think that's their choice.
Yep. I don't dislike religion, but what I do dislike is people knocking on my door. This is why I can't understand anti-Semitism. You don't
Okay.
get Jewish guys knocking on your door saying, "Have you heard the word of Abraham, mate?" That sort of thing. Like,
Okay, well, I got a question for you, Boomer. Do you
Yeah.
have the right type of body for a mankini? Yes or no?
What was that? Do I have a
Do you
what?
have the right sort of body for a mankini? Or yes or no?
Well, I could wear one, but
Okay. Well,
yeah.
see, that's the solution for those people who come and visit you. You go and quickly pop on your mankini, make sure you got your
Ah,
nipples hanging out both sides, right? And then you
ah.
answer, you say, "Oh, tell me about your Lord Jesus, Savior of the earth, and all sorts of shit." And then you flash them a little bit of your nip.
Okay. And that way, if people saw the mankini, you could say, "It's all right. It's only there for Jehovah's Witnesses." They go,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay, good on you." Yeah.
well, that's it.
Well,
If you
what do you
if
get
you
if
don't
you?
have if you don't have that sort of stuff, maybe get a fart primed up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what do you get if you cross a Jehovah's Witness with a Hell's Angel? You get someone who knocks on your door and tells you to fuck off.
What? Okay.
So I throw a quick joke at you there to see if you were paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the one time when I actually did have a Jehovah's Witness, they opened up a booklet in front of me, and I had a look at it. And the middle spread had two kids playing in a field, and I said, "Oh, well, it just looks like fucking Switzerland. So why don't we just go to Switzerland? We'll be all right. If this is heaven, let's just go to Switzerland." Because it
Yeah.
looked like fucking rolling hills, the hills are alive with sound of music. That's it. So
Julie Andrews, is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
get
Okay.
get Julianne Andrews out there and a whole bunch of kids to sing and prance in a pair of clogs or whatever. I don't know.
We don't get them down here.
They were the Von Trapps, I think. Weren't they Germanic? I don't know. I can't remember.
Something like that. But yeah, but certainly that's what I said. Why are you doing all this to go to heaven when you could just fucking go to Switzerland?
Well, that's a pretty good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mind you, the ones I had knock on the door come around. I've got to say they do have 9 fine suits. They do. They don't skip out on the suits. But this one had his kids who were about 8 or 9 years old with him. And I thought the reason they bring the kids is so you won't abuse them, because most people are not inclined to yell in front of children. And I thought, oh yeah, I just said to him, I like your taste in suits, mate. This is pretty good, but yeah, not this week. I've got plenty of God for it right now.
You just got to be sly about it, I guess. How do
Yeah,
you guys go with your? How do you guys go with your those callers who call up and tell you about the downlights that they want to install in your house?
The what's? These
The guys who
callers.
call up and say, "I'd say we're calling up about the government downlight installation thing or whatever like that." Do you have those sort of callers?
Yeah, I do get them. Yep, occasionally.
What do you do with them?
Oh, I tell them how they've got if it's a girl, they have a nice voice, and perhaps they could do some after-hours work, if you know what I mean.
Really? Is that what you did? That was a bit nice.
Cheeky bugger.
Oh, I proposition them all the time. Yeah, and I make them hang up. That's my objective. If they hang up, there's a good chance they'll strike me off the calls list. So I
Wow,
just pretend to be.
that has not happened for me so far. There's been a few who've said, "Oh, like how many solar panels are on your roof?" And I go, "Well, I've got a nuclear power station on my roof." And I said, "Oh, okay. How much power is it producing?" And I said, "Oh, about about 10 megatons or something. 10 megawatts or something like that." Oh, okay. Like, how many bedrooms have you got? And I'm like, "Is this going anywhere, please?" You do realize I've got a nuclear power station on my roof.
Yeah.
When are you gonna come out and give me a free measuring quote? What's going on? So, but they still call me the next day.
I've got a feeling they've got algorithms on you though. So like,
I think it's probably
because
my business number is out there in the open, and anybody can just pick it up and go for it.
Okay, right. So you're not on the do not
It
call.
all this problem really started once I started advertising.
Okay.
When I was not advertised, I didn't get all this sort of shit.
It's annoying though, because I remember the rates for that. It was like 1 in 1,000 15 years ago, and they didn't have that about a name then. Now it must be I don't know, how many hits do you get? How many days do you call someone before you finally get someone buy your product? Like, oh my God. That would drive. That's
I'm sure it's a
soul
pretty low
destroying.
hit rate.
Yeah, that's
But
soul
again, they
destroying.
get most of them are from India or from call stations from India, so they just do it all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or maybe
Mm.
they do the night shift where they go and try and scam people out of their savings, because that's pretty. That one runs right. There's a whole bunch of YouTube channels dedicated to scam baiting. Have you seen any of
Yeah.
those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shocking. Yeah, in a lot of ways, we got to keep some of the older population off the main panels of the internet, because a lot of them really don't. They can't sniff it out. Still, at this point in time, even though they've known it for a while, they still can't sniff out a good scam.
Yeah. Like anything that's going to get you to go and get, what are they, gift cards of some type. That's got to be a huge red flag. Go and buy Walmart gift cards, or whatever they happen to be. I don't know. Some game cards, are they? And you got to give them all the numbers. There's 27 digits on each card number too. So,
Yeah.
oh God, it's actually
Excuse
hard
me,
work.
lady. You did not input the address correctly. You must do it again. Oh, don't scratch it. No, don't put it on your own phone. You got to give it to me.
Yeah. But that guy Jim Browning, who's actually ex cybersecurity, and he does scam baiting and stops them, and he puts.
Oh
I
yes,
dare say
he's really
aside.
good.
He is really good, but he actually
He's got some
got
skills.
he got scammed himself because he bought a new phone, and just for a couple of times, he
Yes.
had you've been logged onto a new device. He said, yeah, and it ended up being the day that he logged on a new device, someone tried to scam him, and he authorized it, and he had to catch the guy. He actually caught him out though in the end. But yeah, that's pretty sad when that happens.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. So even a super cyber dude can actually get caught out by it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Anyway, apparently I've been online for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I thank everyone for coming in. There's nobody watching us right now, anyways. I think everyone who's watching is actually in the call.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah, other people can come watch anyway. Did you subscribe a while ago, Boomer, or did you just come here from? Okay, yeah.
No. Piper Australia gave you a plug in. I think it was Earth Awakening's Discord.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I just subbed to you, or he said you were doing it later. I thought, did you put the link in? I think you put the link in.
I did put the link
maybe.
in the Discord at one stage.
Yeah, I just subbed. I subbed for anyone
that
who's
exact
new.
same night. I got a whole bunch of people trying to get in the backstage area, and one guy got on stage, and for a split second he presented two dudes humping each other from behind.
Oh, okay. So
I actually initially thought it was two gorillas, because it happened so quickly that I quickly shut it down, and I didn't look at it until I went back and looked at it, and someone was right. It wasn't gorillas. It was two big muscular dudes. But because it happened so quickly, I just went snap and just turned it off as quickly as I possibly could. So I didn't analyze actually what the character was.
So you got porn bombed. Okay.
I got porn bombed. Yeah, I got porn bombed. All right, but luckily the video is still up. Doesn't have any hits. It doesn't have any copyright strikes on it. So I must have killed it before it even had a chance.
Good work. All right then. So we okay. Well.
Yeah, I'll let you guys go. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, by all means, if anyone else from the Discord wants to come here, I'd like to go and get a whole collection of people. There's a whole bunch of Aussies who are up at this time and not doing much, So
yep. If I see them about, I'll give them a nudge. If you're on, before I come in, I'll have a look at who's in Discord. If Trouble About's there or someone who's cool, I'll just let them know. I'll send them the link and say, hey, drop over. Yeah,
definitely.
Swato's a great guy, so get him in, get him on here, get him subscribed.
No, it's been a pleasure. My mum bakes cakes too. I've seen you around the traps. I just haven't crossed paths with you. So yeah, cheers, mate. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.
All right, I'll catch everyone later, and I'll end the stream here. I'll make sure I end it and don't leave it run for 15 hours. So yeah, it'll be all good.
Idea.
See you later.